So welcome everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm so excited you decided to join us tonight. I have something a little different for you this evening. I definitely am going to share lots of great information, and I'm going to be able to answer some of your questions at the end, but I hope that I'll get most of them answered, of course, during this talk. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go over the science and tech very briefly, and then I'm going to screen share. I'm going to share a PowerPoint that was created by LifeWave about a year and a half ago when the X49 was released. And I'm going to talk to you and share this information with you through the clinical studies so you can see the amazing benefits. And then I'll talk to you also about the SP6. And the reason why I'm going to focus on these three patches is because LifeWave announced a promotion yesterday, and that promotion is with X39 and X49 in the performance bundle. If you purchase that performance bundle, then you will get the SP6 for free. So tonight I'm going to go in depth and talk to you guys about these three, what they are, how they work, and how they can help you. And then we should have some time at the end for some questions, okay? So let's go ahead and get started so we see if we can have plenty of time for everything. But basically, I'll explain the science and tech very quickly, and then we'll dive into what it does, because I'm sure many of you have probably heard. And if you're a guest tonight, thank you for being here. Welcome, of course. You will get an understanding, of course, of what this technology is, what it does, and how it can help you. And if you have any other further questions, the person that invited you, of course, will be able to answer those for you. My name is Dr. Staci. I have a PhD in integrative medicine and a PhD in functional medicine. I have been in holistic health for the last 20 years. I used to be a school teacher 30 years ago. So I love to teach, I love to educate, I love to work with people and help people. But the technology that I've really been very passionate about the last 2 years is this X39 stem cell activation technology. This is a non-transdermal patch that activates your body's own stem cells, mobilizes and elevates your stem cell production. And I've been in stem cell research and been working with stem cells the last almost 22 years. I banked both of my kids' cord blood. I did over almost 15 years of different types of stem cell therapy in and out of the country with my daughter. And so for me, stem cells were nothing new. Whenever I came across this technology a couple of years ago, of course, I was familiar with transdermal patches, right? Like nicotine, pain, birth control, estrogen patch, things like that. But I wasn't familiar with a non-transdermal that was a wearable light technology that used what's called photobiomodulation or phototherapy. I had not seen that type of technology that was working with stem cells. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So for me, I was like, I'm in anything to do with stem cells. That's obviously ethical. We're not talking about cloning or anything crazy like that, or using, aborted fetuses. We're talking about, a wearable light technology. Non-transdermal means putting nothing in the body. Sign me up. Affordable, the price of a cup of coffee a day, right? Non-invasive. You don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to get on an airplane. I don't have to, have any approvals or anything like that. This has zero interactions, contraindications, anything like that. So for me, it was a no-brainer the second I found out about it. But I want to explain to you real quickly what it is and how it works. So I said non-transdermal, nothing's going into your body. So what does that mean? Well, this patch works with our body's light or heat that we emit. It's not dark out here right now on the East Coast, where our time is obviously, our sun is staying out longer. But when the sun goes down, I can't see anybody outside or any animals unless I have night vision goggles. Night vision goggles allows me to see the heat coming off of the body, right? In colors, red, yellow, blue, green, things like that. And so this patch works with that heat or light that we emit. We emit that, we know it, okay? And so when you put the patch on, our body's light reflects back a very specific wavelength of light back into the body. That wavelength of light is going to elevate a peptide in your body, depending on which patch. But with the X39 stem cell activation patch, it's going to elevate the peptide GHK CU copper peptide. And each patch signals a different peptide. And how that happens is what has been embedded in this patch, what David Schmidt has invented. So when I apply this, my body's heat or light reflects back a signal. Well, what is it reflecting off of? It's reflecting off of a crystal lattice structure that's embedded in the patch. And that's what David Schmidt has invented. Actually, he started inventing 20 years ago. He invented his first patch. And so the lattice structure that's embedded in here is made up of a proprietary blend, which means David's invented it. It's proprietary, it's patented. We have a 20-year patent on this patch, and we're in year 3 of that 20-year patent. But a proprietary blend of organic amino acids, sugars, oxygen, salts, and water. They form together in this lattice structure, like a crystalline lattice structure. And so light, our body's light, reflects back from that lattice structure a specific wavelength of light that elevates a peptide in our body. We know this because, of course, it's been studied clinically on people. And so we can see in our clinical studies, if you go to startx39now.com, someone will put that in the chat for me. You'll be able to see we have over 90 clinical studies that have been done all over the globe by different doctors and researchers, double-blind, placebo, you name it, they're all there. You can go see all of them, okay? But basically, you put the patch on in the morning, anywhere, back and neck, below the belly button. Honestly, anywhere works because your whole entire body is emitting heat or light, and you leave that patch on for 12 hours. During that time, it's elevating your own GHK CU copper peptide level, which declines as you age. Your level elevates. What happens is your genes, okay, again, nothing's going in your body, so this is all inside of you already, but your genes, a third of them are being reset to their young, youthful, healthy state. And one of those genes actually mobilizes stem cells, and your stem cells. So it activates, elevates, and mobilizes your stem cells. So resetting them back to their young, youthful, healthy state. Your stem cells go to work to repair and regenerate whatever is needed in your body. Your body knows how to heal itself. I cut my finger today when I was slicing some vegetables. It's not the Band-Aid, I don't have a Band-Aid on, but it's not the Band-Aid that's going to heal my body, right? When I broke my wrist when I was younger, it wasn't the cast that healed my body. It was my body. It happened from the inside, and that's what stem cells do. And we know when we're young, we have an abundance of stem cells, right? Your boundless amounts of energy, go, 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 nonstop, sleep at the drop of a hat, fall out of a tree, break your arm, get up and take off running again. That's the power of being young and youthful and having all those vibrant stem cells in your body to work to repair everything as needed. As we age, those stem cells become dormant. They're there, they're just tired. They're wore out. By the time in your 30s, you have half of your stem cells that are active. And by the time in your 60s, and I'm guessing a few of you in here are in your 60s, then you have less than 10% that are active. The rest are like, done, I'm out, right? And so that's where you really see that degeneration process. And so using this technology wakes up your stem cells, resets them back to their young, youthful, healthy state. We see a compound effect over time of using this patch because genes express to other genes. So you see this compound effect of not only repair and restoration in your body, but we see regeneration and we see reversal of the functionality of the cells and the tissues and organs. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this when I get here into my screen sharing, and especially also when I look at how these patches work together synergistically. So X39 stem cell activation patch is what I just talked to you guys about, and your stem cells go to work to repair and regenerate. But I'm going to talk to you about the two of these and how they work together synergistically. And to do that, I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see a slide like a PowerPoint that LifeWave invented or created when this patch was invented about 1.5 years ago. And David actually had this patch set to come out right after X39. And of course, COVID slowed down all of their clinical studies. And so they were able to just get those studies done in mid 2021 and was able to release this patch at the end of 2021 in a pre-launch. And so this is available obviously now, but there is so much power when you put the two together. He invented X49 for helping with bone loss and increasing bone density, decreasing body fat, and increasing lean muscle mass, which you'll see on the slides as well too. But there's so much more that they do when you combine them together. And then, like I said, if you just joined us, the reason why I'm going to focus on these two is because LifeWave has a special that's out this week only when you purchase X39 and X49 in our performance bundle. So I'll explain to you a little bit later how you do that. You get the SP6 for free. So I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of SP6 and how this can help you in your health as well too. Especially, you're probably going to be surprised when I talk to you about how it's going to benefit your heart. So let me screen share with you all. All right, so fantastic. I love when this works so fast. Okay, so basically, this is literally, if you go to your app, LifeWave in Touch app, this is in the app. And so I just emailed it to myself earlier and I'm going to share it with you guys here. Okay, so we're just going to talk again about the benefits of the two patches, individually and then together. Okay. So X49, as I mentioned, is most powerful when it's used with the 39. Okay. So X39, of course, like I mentioned, increased energy, sleep, better immune system, relief from aches and pains, improves cognition. Think of skin, wrinkles, lines, natural wound healing. Again, think of when you're young and youthful. You had all of these things when you were a kid. This was all dialed in perfectly, okay? Because you had an abundance of stem cells working to repair all the time, okay? And of course, we know that declines as we age. So X49, like I said, David invented to help for fat loss, building lean muscle mass, bone health, improve cardiovascular system, and of course, the brain with the cognition as well too. So when you look at X39, like I mentioned, it elevates a peptide, GHK CU copper peptide. Well, X49 elevates a daughter peptide, which is AHK CU. All right, so this is glycine, this is alanine, okay? So different chains of amino acids, that's what peptides are. So AHK is found obviously in the blood, and then obviously you can see that in your blood vessels as well too. So we all have this in our body, okay? It's not anything new. It's definitely, again, in the skincare industry. I'm not going to read all of this to you guys. You can see this in your LifeWave in Touch app. And if you're not a brand partner yet, you don't have that app, then the person that invited you can actually send you this exact PowerPoint. So feel free to download this yourself, right? But I really want to show you, I'm not going to get into all the blood samples. You can look at all of this, how they did the studies and the participants and the time frame, over a 7-day, 24-hour, that time frame period. They even have studies now that are out over a year. And if you go to startx39now.com, you can see those studies in your and if you click on that tab, the X49 tab. So this study here, we're looking at a 2-month period of time. So if you were to start with the performance bundle now, this is what you would expect in 2 months. Improvement, percentage of improvement in that 2-month period of time. I don't know about you guys, but we know that people that exercise, have some type of exercise in their life, live longer than those that don't. So when you're looking at, these are the things they measured, right? From 20 people, sit-ups, push-ups, squats, bicep curls. This is the big one. I mean, bicep is important because what you do, right? You're always grabbing, you're reaching, you're pulling, you're picking up. That's important. But the grip strength, what I see from people as they age is they can't open a brand new bottle. That is grip strength. When you cannot turn and twist, that is your grip strength. That is huge. And when you have that, you don't realize what you can't do until it's gone. So that's super important. And this, I love this. I love the scans looking at people. This is looking at their fat mass, right? Their body fat percentage. Okay. Obviously 53% higher than ideal. Okay, looking at this before and looking at this after. Fat mass 66, fat mass down to 59, 37 down to 33. In 2 months, it went from 53% higher to only 20% higher than ideal. That's huge, right? That's really big. And when you look at bone strength, right, being able to stop bone loss, we know this combination stops bone loss. We know that it increases bone density. Look at your blood pressure. People ask me all the time, what's going to lower blood pressure? Well, I can tell you based on clinical studies that these two will. They're doing it not by masking a symptom, not by giving you a pill to make a number look pretty. They're actually doing it with repair and regeneration. They're repairing, stem cells repair any cell, tissue, or organ that is needed. And look at the reduction in systolic and diastolic. That's a big difference. A lot of people, there's side effects of medications, let's be honest. There's a purpose for them. There is a need for them at times, but if you can do things in a natural, holistic way without any side effects, that's the big thing. Every day people tell me about their medication and they list all their side effects, the problems that they're experiencing from one medicine to the next and another to another. And I'm not saying again, that medicines are bad. There's definitely a place, there's a time and a purpose for them. But when you're looking at how can I get my body back into balance in a safe and effective way, that is exactly what this does, right? And we can see huge benefits in brain health and brain function as well, cognitive and function. And like I mentioned, of course, cardiovascular, right? Now, what if you put the two together? There are synergistic benefits, huge synergistic benefits for putting these two together. So you can see by themselves, x39, by itself what it does, and then you can see what happens when you add the x39 and x49. Big difference, 72% to 90%. Look at the pulse decrease. Pulse, that is your heart rate, like your pulse, right? You want that to be a nice, calm, balanced pulse, going from 4 down to 5% decrease. That's huge. And look at the endurance, right? The distance, the endurance. That could just be going for a walk. You're not like a top athlete, but what if you are? My son's 18 years old. He's been using these two. When I was at conference, when this was released, I sent him the clinical study screenshots that David had from this PowerPoint up there on the screen. And he said, order it now. I said, I'm better. David gave it to us. I'm bringing it home. He said, I'll never go a day without it. And he has made massive gains in the gym. From age 17 to 16, 17 almost 19, right? He'll be 19 later this year. So huge, huge, huge difference. But we can see that, of course. Look at this. Decreased fat loss, 11% body fat reduction in 60 days. People ask me all the time, what do I use for weight loss? We're not a weight loss company, but you're going to be happy when I talk to you about SV6 in a minute. But using X39 and X49 helps you to build lean muscle mass. Even if you just go for a walk, even if you just do some body weight exercises, put a YouTube video on at home, it's going to make a bigger difference than if you did not use them. And if you do actually work out and exercise and have some kind of program or regimen, you'll see massive changes pretty quickly. We can see that with people all the time. So 3949 is below the belly button or back of the neck. Let me tell you a little caveat. Are you ready for this? So David shared this. Let's see. It was at an event. It was January 2022. And here in Sarasota, he came and did an event for me. And we were talking about placement. And this is what he shared. And you're not going to see this on here, but I'm sure many of you probably seen this graphic. And of course we have it. But X39, back of the neck, below the belly button, any spot works. It does not matter. Women are different than men, obviously. We know that, right? In so many ways. But when we're looking at patches and what David found from the studies, he said that men could use X49 on the back of the neck as well. But that with women, it actually was better below the belly button or stomach 36. And stomach 36 is a placement. Let me find my energy enhancer card here. I was using it earlier today. Where did it go? And I don't know. Let's see, maybe it's in here. Energy enhancer, there it is. Okay, stomach 36. If you look at this little picture down here below the knee and a little to the right of the knee, that's stomach 36. That is a location for X49, men or women. But he said that women did not get as good a results on the back of the neck with X49. Okay. So just make note of that, ST36. Google it. You can Google stomach 36 acupuncture point. So the performance bundle, Okay, this is the bundle that I'm talking about that's on special, $20 off. When you're a brand partner, you would normally pay $199, but you can actually get that for $179 for the performance bundle. Okay, and obviously it's a little bit less if you do a monthly subscription, but for this specific purpose, there is no monthly subscription. You just order one time these two combo performance bundle at $179, your brand partner account. You log in to your account, you click on store, and you go down to promotions, and you'll see it right there, store promotions, and you'll see this bundle, and this will be next to it. Okay, so $179, there's a limit of 5. You can't order more than 5 of these. So think about this. If you're like, okay, I use these patches every single month, you're going to use them. I'm hoping you're already doing the performance bundle, right? To be able to get the $20 off. Yes, good. Okay. Victoria's going, yes, yes. So yes, smart woman. So you get these two, but you're also going to get this for free. So if you buy these for 5, if you're going to buy these for 5 months anyways, then why would you not just buy them all at one time and get 5 months of this for free? Right? So you can do that. I had people do that. A lot of people do that today, actually. So that's our performance bundle. Okay, I want to show you something else on here. Remove my little thing so I can see. I want to show you the 3949 comparison sheet, and then I'm going to talk about the SP6, and then we'll get into questions. All right, so when you look at, when you look at 3949, again, this is again in your app. You can go to LifeWave In Touch app. This is there. You can email it or text to somebody. So if you're a guest and you want this information, it can be sent to you instantly right now. X39, you can see differences in 49. We're elevating GHK CU copper peptide, and then 39 is elevating GHK CU. I do want to mention something else. If you are plant-based, if you are vegan, you're going to need to make sure that you're getting the amino acid beta-alanine in a supplement. That comes from meat. And so it's important if you're elevating GHK CU with X49 to get the best results. If you are not eating meat, that you are using an amino acid supplement like a powder or a drink that is beta-alanine, okay? Because alanine is GHK CU. You want to make sure you have that in your body. If you're eating meat, please eat healthy, clean sources of meat. Please look at organic, no hormones, no injections, no antibiotics, grass-fed, grass-finished. Be very careful. I'm going to do a little side note caution here. I watched some information just here in the last several days that they are now going to be injecting cows and pigs with the mRNA vaccine because people are refusing it. So they have decided to go ahead, and they've already passed that. Dr. Clinchey's going, yes, read that research already. They're going to go ahead and start injecting cows and pigs. So please make sure you know if you choose to eat beef or pork at a very limited basis. I'm hoping, please choose to eat really clean, super clean sources that you know where it's coming from and they're not injected with any type of foreign objects or whatever goes into that. So primary benefit, you can see improves with the X49, performance, stamina, muscle strength. Of course, we saw all of that. And then this activates your stem cells, resets them to a more youthful state. Secondary benefits you can see here, like I mentioned, with the muscle, the fat loss, the bone, the cardio, the cognition, energy, sleep. Those are some pretty, quick benefits we see in the first couple months typically. So you can see that GHK CU is typically found in the heart, the muscle, right? The brain and the skin. And then of course, stem cells, your stem cells are found throughout your entire body. They are pluripotent, so they can turn into any cell, tissue, or organ that is needed. So X49 is more focused patch. It should be used just for those that are looking to increase stamina, endurance, and strength, and help with body fat loss, help with cognition, help with heart, help to get rid of some excess fat. X39 is for anyone and everyone. That is the #1 patch. That is what we start with. This is our workhorse because stem cells do anything and everything that is needed in the body. And the beautiful thing is you don't have to know what's needed. The body does, and it will be repaired in that order. So you can definitely use them together synergistically. Okay. So there's that. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I thought I've got to share this information. If you don't have it yet or didn't know how to access it, I wanted you to be able to see that so you can share that with other people this week to let them know that this performance bundle, if they want to see the benefits, they want to see the comparison, then they can see that right there on those two things. So go to your app and get that information and send that in email and text to people. So this is a huge savings of $179 when you bundle them together. But like I said, you can always get the bundle, always. But right now you have the ability this week only to get the bundle and get the SP6 free. So let's talk about SP6. SP6 is one of our, I don't want to say least talked about patches, but it's one that doesn't get as much like craziness out there. But it has huge benefits. And so I want to definitely take some time to talk to you about SP6 and all the benefits that it has and what it can do for you and help you. And so let's talk about how it's marketed, okay, initially. It's marketed as a weight loss patch, believe that or not. It's marketed as a patch to help increase your metabolism and to curb your appetite. So if you're someone that says, what do I do to lose weight? Well, we know these have 11% body fat reduction in 60 days. And this one curbs your appetite and boosts your metabolism. So that sounds like a pretty good combo there to help your body to reduce some of the excess fluff that's going on, right? But that is not what all this patch does. And really, I want you to think about, like, how would it curb my appetite? How would it boost my metabolism? That's really the question I want you to ask. And so when you look at those two things, you look at your endocrine system. And many of you may have heard that word, your endocrine system, or you've heard of endocrinologist. What is my endocrine system? Where is that? How does that work in my body? Where is it located? Well, it's located in a lot of different places. So I want you to think about your pituitary gland. You may not know where that is. I think you probably do in your head, like in your brain, right? I want you to think of your hypothalamus. It's a little almond shape gland inside of your brain as well, too. I want you to think of your thyroid. Think of your thyroid. Think of your frontal lobe, your main thought processes, right? Your autonomic nervous system. I want you to think of your adrenal glands. I want you to think of your intestines, your liver, your kidneys, your pancreas. All of that makes up your endocrine system, okay? And your endocrine system is a very complex network of, like I said, glands and organs. And so we can see that the endocrine system uses hormones to control and coordinate your body's metabolism, which is where you see it marketed as a patch that's going to increase your metabolism. It's going to control and coordinate your energy level, your reproduction, your growth, and your development, and its response to injury, stress, and mood. That's basically what the endocrine system does. But I want to really talk about two key components of that. I want two glands before I talk about organs. I want to talk to you about your thyroid. In functional med, we look at the root cause of problems, diseases, issues, right? So most people, unfortunately, have some type of heart condition, issue, symptom, problem, right? We know number one killer in the world is heart disease. We know that. And we also know, did you know that statins are black label medications? You might want to Google that and see that list. But when we look at the heart in functional med, Dr. Clinchey's laughing. When you look at functional med, we look at what is really causing, what's the root cause of these heart problems? Like what's happening here? Now, of course, we can look at stress. We know that stress plays a huge part in your heart. Emotional stress, especially when you look at women, a lot of times men have heart attacks and they survive those things, right? But if a woman has a heart attack, she's usually gone. And that happens a lot from that emotional trauma and stress stored in the heart. So we look at stress physically, mentally, and emotionally as being a root cause of heart issues. And of course, we can look at that, address that looking at EON. Which helps bring your body into that calm parasympathetic state. We can see that. benefit. You saw what 3949 did with your pulse rate, bringing that down. That's important, right? We saw what it did to the blood pressure. But did you know that your thyroid being out of balance is a direct link to heart problems and issues and conditions and symptoms? And of course, I'm not making any claims of any types of diseases, but we can see in functional med that having your thyroid out of balance is going to detrimentally impact your heart. And that's huge, because that doesn't typically get shared when you go to the doctor, because you have, irregular heartbeats, PVCs or arrhythmias, or your AFib, or, things just don't feel right, or you have tightness or whatever, your blood pressure's through the roof. They don't typically tell you, hey, it's your thyroid we need to really take a look at here. Let's do a full panel and workup and look at everything. They just say, here's your medication. Right? Here's your prescription. And I'm generalizing, of course, you guys, but a lot of times that's what happens. And they write you a medication to lower your blood pressure, but did it actually do anything to repair the heart? Is it actually getting in there? Maybe, maybe not. Not going to make any claims, of course, but that's what I would ask those questions. Like what really is going on with my heart that all of this is happening, right? What's the underlying cause? And that's where we want to get to. So SP6, again, keeping your thyroid in check. You look at your entire immune system, right? With your thyroid, you look at honestly, everything. It's controlling so much in your body. And so keeping this little butterfly gland here healthy is really important. And we kind of piggyback that off of our adrenal glands, because again, we talk about stress. People are stressed, they're fight or flight mode. Back in our ancestors' days, it was because they were running from saber-toothed tigers. Today, people open their bank account on their app and they freak out and they're in fight or flight mode, right? The stress is just through the roof with what's going on in our world and in life and everything. It can be so much. And so keeping your adrenal glands in balance are another big part of SP6. We can see in clinical studies very significant changes using this patch in as little as even 7 days. I want you to go to startx39now.com. I want you to click on SP6 on the clinical studies, and I want you to look at that and see what happens in our glands, in our organs. In just 7 days, we can see almost a 90% improvement in the physiological functionality of your endocrine system. So what's going to happen? We know when we look at our hormones, for example, and balancing them, we know we want to look at a 90-day period at least. Okay. So if you're looking at the performance bundle, you would want to look at least a 90-day period if you're wanting to balance all of that out, right? Depending on your age, you may actually look at more of a six-month period or even a 12-month period, depending on your age and what's going on with you. You want to use the patch 1 month for every 10 years you are old as your starting point. And we always say, just stop using this patch when you want to start aging again, because that's really what you have your hands on here. But when you look at balancing the endocrine system, at least give it a solid 90 days before you make any decisions in whether this is benefiting me or not. And I'm probably going to bet that you're going to feel things way before that 90-day period. And I know some of you are probably going to wonder, well, I'm on thyroid medication, or I've had my thyroid removed. This isn't just about your thyroid. This is about your entire endocrine system, which is, like I said earlier, that controls and coordinates all of your body's metabolism, energy level, reproduction, growth, development, and responses to injury, stress, and to your mood. So it's not just about the thyroid. And again, if you're on medications, I'm not your doctor. So please check with your doctor or healthcare practitioner if you have any questions. But know that because this technology is non-transdermal, nothing is going into my body, then that means there can be nothing to interact with any medication or supplement, herb or tincture or nutrient or therapy that you're doing. But again, always please check with your doctor. And if you're on medications, don't ever stop anything, okay? Definitely let your doctor know, hey, I'm using a non-transdermal technology. My goal is to get off of this medicine. And if they tell you it's not an option, then you need to fire them and go find a different doctor, because you would hope that they would say, yes, we see the list of side effects, including death of this medication. We don't want you to be on this forever. Oh, it causes cancer? Yeah, we don't want you on this. Let's get you off of this. And so you go to them and you tell them, I have a plan. This is my plan. This is what I want to do. I want to come off these medications. I want to get my body in balance, and I want to have a better quality of life. I'm done with this. I'm going to get to the root cause of these problems, and I'm going to cross these things off my list, including these medications. So we're either going to do this, or I'm going to go find somebody else that'll do this with me. And some of them end up getting fired, and then some of them say, yes, let's get you off the medications, because they don't want to be on those list of medications either, right? You talk to most doctors and they're like, no, they don't want all that stuff, right? They've read the black labels. They're not interested. And so make sure you have that conversation. Be open with your doctor, okay? So SP6, let's talk a little bit about gut health. That's important. This works to help with your intestines. I mentioned that your organs, your intestines are very significantly impacted with SP6. So when I look at gut health, obviously X39, we can see huge improvements in your digestive system with this as well too, but using SP6 will help with that digestion. A lot of people tell me, whoa, I got my bowels moving now. Things are going, which is good. You should have 1 to 2 bowel movements every single day. If you don't, you are constipated, you are full of toxins, and you are setting yourself up for death. That's just bottom line. Like, that stuff has got to come out, right? That's why it smells the way it does. You don't want that stuck inside of your body. And so keeping your intestines moving, think about your intestines. My God, they're like 2 tennis courts long, right? 20, I don't even know how many feet. That, all the nooks and crannies in there, all the food and the stuff that's stuck, right? We want to get that out. And so this is not something that's going to put you on a toilet. It's not a detox, not that kind of thing. But people do tell me that this definitely got them moving. I don't have a bowel issue. I never have. But a lot of people that suffer from different types of symptoms from their list of diagnosis, right, from their bowel issues, we can see improvements in that using SP6. So another huge benefit from SP6. So balancing your endocrine system, balancing those organs, balancing those hormones that your endocrine system is responsible for is huge with this patch. And again, like I said, if you're interested in the curbing of the appetite and the metabolism boosting part, then that can definitely help you with that as well too. Okay, so with that being said, I know we had some people join the very end. You'll have to go back and watch the whole thing again. But this performance bundle is on special right now, $179.95 if you're a brand partner. So get with the person that invited you. They can help you to get this performance bundle. You have to have a brand partner account, of course, at the $179.95 price, which you'll get the SP6 for free. And you have a limit of 5 of these. So just so you know that, it's only available through the 7th. All right, so I'm going to answer your questions now. So let me go back through here real quick. Is there a danger to putting the patches on an infant? So we have 0 clinical studies on patching an infant. So I would not be able to make any comments on that at all. As far as children, teenagers, like I mentioned, the first 2 people that I patched were my teenagers, my children. If they were younger, I wish I would have had this patch when my daughter was 3, when we started with all of her issues. I would have stuck it on her in a heartbeat. Absolutely. I would have 0 reservations. And I wish, you just wish you would have, right? But you were on our journey. We're all on our journey. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for your questions in here. Make sure that I can go back to, okay, so for severe knee issues, so some of these questions are obviously not going to be pertaining to these exact patches, but for severe knee issues, would the Eon patch go on the knee or below it where there's the worst pain and swelling is? You can definitely stick the Eon patch. It reduces inflammation. You can stick it directly on the knee. We also use X39. You can use that on the knee. And IceWave. IceWave gets rid of pain on the spot. I had a lady last night that we were talking about different placements of the IceWave to get rid of her knee pain. She texted me this morning. She's like, oh my God, I now have complete range of motion. Like, all my pain's gone. How did that work? I'm like, you just got to move those IceWave around until you find the spot. So all 3 of those would definitely help. Any info on heart rate elevation on one or any combination of patches? I'm not really for sure what you mean by that, heart rate elevation. The patches do not elevate your heart rate. As you could see from the clinical studies, they actually lower your heart rate. That's what your pulse rate is. So they'll lower that. Let's see. Someone with pain in the feet has neuropathy, but I know we don't discuss diseases. Is it better to, after 10 days, and it's not better after 10 days. So with the neuropathy, when you have pain in your feet or your hands, if your feet, the balls of your feet, it's K1 is the acupuncture point. So with Ice Wave, white right, tan left. Okay, so if this is the ball of my foot, I'm going to put the white one here, and I'm going to put the tan one here. You can also use another set on the low back. If the spine is your midline, the white goes to the right and the tan goes to the left. That helps break up the energy channel. Pain is stuck energy. And so when you look at nerves and helping to help nerves regrow, then obviously x39 is going to help with that over time. Okay, so use the Ice Wave low back. Dr. Peavy, so Sarah, go to the Telegram channel. Dr. Peavy's a chiropractor of over 40 years that has specialized only in neuropathy. And I interviewed him last year. He has a great protocol using these patches and having massive success with his patients in the office. You do not need 2 SP6. I would just use 1 SP6. And also on SP6, the patch, every patch comes with an instruction booklet. Use one of these 3 spots and stay with that spot. So if you use the top one, stay with it for at least 7 days before you change. And honestly, I would stay with it for a little, probably even 2 weeks. But these are the only 3 options. And this is on the left leg only. The spleen meridian, that's what SP stands for. Spleen meridian is on the inside of the left leg. So you want to use that patch only in that location to impact your endocrine system. For cholesterol, I would look at what you're eating. I'd look at your diet, your exercise, and I would obviously use the patches to support your heart. 39, 49, Eon, Carnosine. Oh, yeah, Dr. Clunchy, who's had 2 heart attacks, 7 stents. That's why he was chuckling. I love it. I love it. So if you're taking thyroid meds, how does SP6 affect me? Yeah, like I already mentioned that, of course, talk to your doctor for sure if you have questions, but there's no interactions. Where's a woman to place the x49 to get best results? Below the belly button or that stomach 36, which is to the right of your knee. So below your knee and to the right, there's a little well there. If you feel your leg, you'll feel it. That's where you want to put x49. Aw, thanks, guys. You're so sweet. So if you don't need to lose weight, will you still be okay to use it? Yes, absolutely. This is about balance. And that's the main thing I want you guys to understand. You know, these patches are going to bring your systems, your organs into balance. It will never throw you in the opposite direction. So if you don't need to lose weight, it's not going to make you lose weight. If you have no heart issues, it's not going to, like me, I have no heart issues. There's nothing wrong with my blood pressure. I'm like a 110 over 62, right? So 108 over 62, like my blood pressure is nothing. It does not bottom me out. And it obviously does not make my blood pressure go high. So it's about balance. And peptides, your body knows what is needed. And so it will repair the areas that are needed. It's not going to throw the body all out of whack if there's no need. Why am I using this? Prevention, vitality, and longevity. That's why. It has nothing to do with trying to repair my systems. I'm sure there's things that needed repair in there. I didn't feel them. I didn't know anything, and it sure didn't show on any of my blood work, right? So, I mean, everything's been good. I'm here for the long haul. I'm here for vitality and longevity and prevention, right? Okay, so this is long. 16-year-old's been using x39, basketball player. It can't hurt, correct? Wondering if energy enhancer, stamina, energy, carnosine, That's the muscle, brain, heart would be better since he's not injured and making plenty of stem cells, or maybe Eon because he might be inflamed from sports. So that's a great question. So when Trey, when I first found about this, he was 16 and I just put him on x39 and Eon for 2 weeks. I'm like, you have plenty of stem cells, but let's just give you a boost. That's what David had said. Kind of clean things out a little bit, clean out any cobwebs, and let's get your body a little boost, right? Perfect. Okay, great. Well, then I was like, oh, let's use some energy enhancer and carnosine. So I had him use those for several months. He's been a basketball player his whole life, most of it anyways. And so we used carnosine for muscle recovery and the energy enhancer for the endurance and stamina on the court. Then 49 came out. And like I said, he read the research and he's like, give it to me now. And that's all he used up until just literally a couple weeks ago. He's like, Mom, where's the carnosine? Where's the energy enhancer? He's been editing a lot of my videos and he hears me talking about it. He's like, I really need that carnosine and energy enhancer. I've got to bench 315 this summer. And that's my goal. And that I was like, okay, bud, whatever, go for it. Here it is. So if I were you, I would look at, the Eon helps with sports inflammation. But we see the recovery with 39 and 49 as being huge, and the gains. If he's looking to gain, if he's looking to get the upper edge on the court, I would definitely, if you're looking at cost, I would just do the performance bundle. But that's a personal choice, of course. Okay, yes, it's definitely okay to wear all 3 patches at the same time. Use the locations in the instruction booklet that we discussed. I don't know about narcolepsy. I'm not for sure. That's a great question. I honestly have no idea. I've never been asked that. Can't hurt. It can only help. So I would do x39, 49. Sure. Any benefits for doubling up on the patches? No. David says there's about a 20% improvement increase if you double up, but cost-wise, no. And there is one caveat to that. That's if you have an injury. So if you have an injury, an acute injury, like when Trey went up for a layup and the kid slammed him and he came down and they thought he broke his ankle, but he sprained his ankle. And so I put 3 x39, 3 carnosine, and 3 Eon on that ankle immediately. And of course, we went to x-ray, the ortho doctor, and he's like, oh, crutches for 2 weeks, come back in 2 weeks and we'll do the ultrasound, check it again. This was a bad sprain, blah, blah, blah. So 24 hours later, he's off the crutches. 7 days later, he's back on the court out here in the garage. And that 2-week checkup, he's, back dunking, like never missed a beat, nothing. Ortho doctor does his ultrasound, looks at him, he's like, it doesn't even look like you had anything happen to you. Like nothing at all. And he's like, you're young, obviously, but this is remarkable. And he's like, my mom just put these patches on me every day for 7 days. And when he did another layup at a different time, kid hit him in the air, split his lip wide open and down. So they called me from school because this happened in gym. And they're like, take him to the emergency room immediately. He needs stitches. And it was gaping, like horrible. And I'm like, no, he's like, no, we're not doing stitches, Mom, fix it. And so I did x39 Eon, not on the opening, but around the x39 Eon and carnosine, doubled up on them. And within 3 days, it was completely closed up. Like you could barely see anything. And 7 days later, it's like nothing. There's nothing, not even a scar. And we did no stitches or anything. So in acute situations like concussions, right, or a cut, a break, a sprain, something, then yeah, double, triple patch x39 Eon carnosine. Carnosine's for tissue repair. And so definitely I would, yes, but for a daily basis, absolutely not. Not going to give you more benefits. You would be better to look at x39 Eon together if you want to increase your benefits, because Eon reduces inflammation. When you reduce inflammation at the same time you increase stem cell production, you set the body up for a more rapid, dramatic repair and regeneration process. We call that the dynamic duo. So I would look at that, or adding another patch to that to get what you want faster versus double patching on something. Pets, 100%, absolutely. We can see with x39 and Eon, huge improvements with sleep. Also silent nights. A lot of times sleep, when you have problems sleeping like that, though, we look at weight or sinus congestion, things like that. So kind of depending on what it's coming from, but yeah, definitely x39 and Eon would be amazing for sleeping and silent nights. The recording, I will have this on my I double checked. I was like, thank God I did record it. Sometimes I do these things so rote. I'm like, oh, did I do this? I'll have this on my YouTube channel tonight. And so you can share it. Let's see. So when you, okay, so someone's asking if you upgrade. So if you're a current brand partner and you say you're a gold pack and you upgrade to the diamond pack, can you do the performance bundle in it and get your SP6 free? No. It does not allow you to do that for any monthly subscription orders or any upgrade orders. It has to be a purchase where you go log in, click on store, go to promotions, and click from there to get that promo. Because when you upgrade, you're always getting some extra perks and benefits in there too. Any info on heart rate elevation on any of the combination patches? No heart rate elevation. So if you're looking, if the heart rate is low, then it's going to bring it into balance. If it's high, it's going to bring it into balance. It won't cause it to be one or the other in detrimental ways. Okay. I explained that earlier, I think, but I just want to make sure. Don't stop taking pet medications while you're patching. Absolutely not. Let's see. Oh, you joined for yourself and your dog that's 15 and needs it for pain. You can put the x39 on you during the day, and you can put the same patch on her that same night. It doesn't matter with the dog. She can use it at night. For us, we have to have 39 and 49 during the day, but you can put the patch on her at night or the morning, whatever is best for you. But you can put the Eon on her, absolutely, for pain. And you can also use the AccuLife or the IceWave. They're the same patch. One's just licensed for pets. One's licensed for people. Whatever works for you, you can use all those patches on her safely. Absolutely. Let's see, suggestions on, so when you look at your gallbladder, I would look at your food. I would look at your food. I would do a detox, a gallbladder detox or cleanse. I would find a functional med doctor, naturopath, holistic type of doctor, practitioner that can guide you in that direction on doing some type of cleanse. You've got a buildup, right? And it's from your diet. So I would definitely look at that. But you can use the x39 Eon, of course. SP6 would be amazing when you look at your intestines and liver. Absolutely. What downgrades in the patch that makes it needful to replace the patch instead of reusing it? So non-transdermal means nothing's going in. It's a wearable light technology. We are almost 100 degrees. Put your hand to your chest. You're almost 100 degrees. Okay. So our body communicating with this crystal lattice structure at 100 degrees for a 12-hour period, it starts to dissipate. Okay. So we see that, again, from the studies, we can see that it starts to dissipate after around that 14-hour mark, right? Which is why we say, put it on your pet. They'll get a little benefit from it. Perfectly fine. You know, horses, obviously go put a big one on it. They're the size of an adult or way more, right? But you definitely have to replace it because it's not going to be effective that second day to reuse it. This is not a transdermal patch where it's putting a nutrient or a medicine or a chemical into your body constantly, right? And our body needs a break. We need a break. It's like light right now. If I left my light on here in the office all the time, it's going to burn out faster. You have to turn that light off, and that communication, that light, turn that off, give the body time to repair and regenerate. Now, here's the thing. There are different patches. So different patches signal different peptides. Some are worn during the day, some are worn at night. Each patch has its own 12-hour window. And because it's signaling a different peptide, you can use patches daytime and nighttime, different ones. Okay, so keep that in mind. When you look at the wrist and pain, absolutely. We've seen carpal tunnel, easy peasy. So would that be 4 IceWave, 2 white, 2 tan? Yes. Let's see. Oh, that's good here. You can sleep better. That's wonderful. Can SP6 help with infertility? Well, when you look at balancing the endocrine system, those hormones, those reproduction hormones, then it possibly could. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you guys. You're so sweet. Dr. Staci, DrStaci is my YouTube channel. And you can also find my YouTube channel on startx39now.com. So migraines, yes, I would definitely use x39. I would definitely use Eon and IceWave. When you look at the stomach, intestines, we've already talked about that. X39, Eon, SP6 for sure. So I can't make any recommendations on babies. We just don't have any clinical studies. And so I can't say yes or no on using the patches on babies. I will tell you, as with any child or adult, if you're a parent, you choose what you do with your child. So you make those choices. And I can't obviously make those choices for you. But it's, to me, I always look at it, and I'm not referencing this in reference to babies, but when I look at like kids, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15 years old, whatever. You drive them through the drive-through. You get them the French fries. You get them the Gatorades with the yellow and the green and the blue and the orange and the pink and whatever. You get them the candy. You get them the chocolate. You get them the stuff from the grocery store on the inside aisles, the chips and the Doritos that have all this. I mean, you're choosing those things, right? Which are extremely toxic and detrimental to their health. So when you look at making choices for them, you can choose those things, or you can choose more healthy, more natural, beneficial things for them. To me, looking at the patches technology is 100% beneficial for my children. Like I said, if I would have known about these when my daughter was 3, I would have slapped them on her in a heartbeat. But I can't make that determination for you. You as a parent have to choose what's best for your child. And when we look at sugar imbalance, we've only got 2 more minutes, but I'm trying to get the last. When we look at sugar imbalance, X39 Eon carnosine. Carnosine balances the glycation process in the pancreas, which is huge, again, for your heart and for all your organs in your body. When your sugar is elevated, everything is nuts, right? Okay. Let's see, someone on chemo, you don't want to patch the day you're receiving chemo. So say you're on like a high, vitamin or high dose IV chemo, it's just going to kill everything. So the days that you aren't using chemo, then you could patch, right? That would be beneficial. Let's see. Dr. Peavy is the doctor that specializes in neuropathy. If you're using glutathione and cortisone to detox, cortisone? You mean carnosine. I think you mean carnosine. Should you move them different locations or keep them in the same place for a period of time? I would do at least 7 days in one location, but change them around because they're hitting different meridians. So as far as the brain, I would look at 39, 49, Eon carnosine. Definitely. Those are patches that help with that. And as far as looking at testimonials, because we got to wrap it up. But as far as looking at testimonials, if you go to our Telegram channel, the person that invited you can invite you to our Be Activating community, is our private Telegram channel, where we have over 3,000 recorded testimonials from people that have shared their personal experience and what's going on with them and how this technology has helped them improve their quality of life. So get back with the person that invited you. They can help you get the information you need. Again, startx39now.com has everything, but also our Telegram channel. If you want to hear other people's personal experiences, the person that invited you can help you with that too. And finally, our X3949 bundle. Thank you guys for listening and watching the PowerPoint of that. You get your SP6 for free. So let everybody know, share the information in the app. You can share SP6 information as well too from the app, and it's all on startx39now.com. So thank you guys for being here this evening. I appreciate you, and I will get this recording up very shortly on my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to share that with everyone. Have a great evening.